What's up, YouTube? We're back here at 2SP. Gonna do a little bit of Teework today. A lot of questions in the comments of one of the first videos is how do we work on Teework? What are we working on? Like as far as game situations and stuff like that. So we're gonna do mostly a rundown of what I work on when I'm doing Teework. Now, this changes for a lot of people. Some people don't believe in Teework. Some people think it's a waste of time. My approach for Teework, though, is I always start off just getting loose. We're going to swing the Diablo, which is one of our newest senior bats. It's the ACX7SX. This is by far our hottest senior tech, and it's not even close. This is game-ready stuff. You can take it out of the wrapper, put a couple swings on it to get a feel for it, and then I would just be ready to game it. We have about 15 swings on this so far, and it's like swinging a shaved bat. That's the best impression I can give you. So first, we just want to get loose. Nothing crazy. A little close. So let's start there, actually. One of the biggest things people don't understand when they're doing Teework is if they're set up at the plate here. I don't know if you guys can see this. If you're set up at the plate where you normally stand. So I normally stand with my back foot basically right in line with the point. Unless I'm playing ASA, I take maybe 6 inches step back towards the umpire, just so an ASA strike, which is mostly high arc pitches, is still falling right where I want it to fall for my swing. So U-trip though, since you see a lot of flat stuff, but my back foot is in line with the point. When you're swinging, you're not making contact right here over the plate. It's just not how it is. Maybe if you're pushing the ball, if you're waiting on it, you're putting it over there, but your normal swing is not making contact right here. So you have to set the tee up out in front of you. You want to set it up where you are typically catching the ball. I'm maybe 3 feet in front of the plate, and this is where it's set up now is typically where I'm hitting middle. Middle is not trying to hit the pitcher. Middle is left or right of the pitcher, opposite of the 5-man. A lot of tournament players know that most of the teams you play are going to be playing a 5-man. For me, the easiest swing for me to learn when I was beginning to be a really serious tournament player was left or right of the pitcher. I was never trying to hit the pitcher. The goal was always to go just to the side of him. Most pitchers don't fall off hard. Most pitchers fall back. So they throw you the ball, and they might be fading to a certain way, but they're not jumping off the mound, realistically. They're going to pitch, and they're going to fall. There's a very few pitchers that pitch and jump into the hole. So, high percentage swing, of course, know the pitcher. If a pitcher's jumping into that hole, then maybe middle's more open than I'm saying right now. So I'm working on middle when I start my tee stuff. You want to have a nice line drive, not too high, because that middle swing, if you get under it, you're probably lining out to your center fielder. So the goal is a nice line drive swing. And of course I hit a ground ball. A ground ball swing isn't bad, but your ground ball swing doesn't want to be you beating it into the ground. If you can hit like a 2-hopper through the infield, that's a good swing. That's what I'm trying to do when I hit through middle. I'm not trying to hit a home run. I'm not trying to burn the center fielder. And I'm not trying to hit the pitcher. The goal is just 5 feet off the ground or a 1-hopper through the infield. So I switched the angle up for you, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. So in the beginning, you're just warming up. Oh, that went out of the little area. You're not trying to kill it here. You're just trying to take a good swing, 70-80%. One of the biggest reasons I take Teework is muscle memory, or do Teework, is muscle memory. I didn't grow up playing baseball, so everything I've learned from softball players and older guys, a bunch of conference guys that I knew. So me doing Teework is also working on getting everything engaged, using your hips, flying out if that was outside. But I like doing this just to get back into it. I do more Teework over the course of the summer than I do live BP. Now that's not going to work for everybody. It works for me, but it's 100% not going to work for everybody. One of the other things you need to think about when you're hitting middle is knowing what pitch you can do with what. So your game plan might be left or right of the pitcher, but maybe you're not a super experienced hitter as far as 90% of the time being able to put the ball right where you want to put it. So you have to know what pitch you can do it with. For me to hit right side of the pitcher for batter, right side of the pitcher, pitcher's left side, I need to have the ball on that outer half of the plate. To do it with an inside pitch is a low percentage swing. You can do it, I can do it, but it's a low percentage swing. If I get the pitch on the outside half, and that's where I'm trying to put it, I'm confident 80 to 90% of the time I'm going to put it there. And same thing with the left side, the pitcher's right side. Basically, I can have it. So also, I'm going to need it up a little bit, so like 3 feet. Middle to inside, middle in. And that's when this hole, for me, is the easiest. I don't know if you could tell, but I have little bases set up where the holes would be. Obviously, all the bases look close together. I'm in a tiny area. That's why they look close. So to the left of this first pole and to that base, that's in my head, that's where the pitcher's going to be. That's where I'm trying to not hit. So his left, his right are those holes opposite of the 5-man. You want to have a purpose when you're doing this. You don't want to just come up and, oh, I'm just trying to hit taters. See what happens. You want to have a purpose. You want to get the muscle memory down. You want to know what you can do with what pitch. So now let's try to hit that hole, but we had a little bit shorter pitch. So at that height, probably going to be like right there. You want to imagine you're seeing a pitch. The pitch is coming in. Where is that pitch going to be when you make contact with it? This is probably a 8-ish foot pitch that's going to land the back of the strike zone here, which you're going to see a lot. 8 foot is the common pitch you're going to see most of the time. So working on different areas for that is going to benefit you a lot. So that one, I missed the hole. I hit to the right side of the bag. So there's a good chance that's right to the second baseman. The second baseman usually play pretty deep, so they know they'll have, and I'm clearly not a center fielder, so they know they're going to have a little more time, so they're going to play deeper. Let's try to hit that hole again, though, with this pitch. Oh, that one might have been high enough to go over him, but not the hole I'm trying to hit. All right, one more with this one. Quit embarrassing myself on my videos. I suck. There we go. Obviously, I still buried into the ground, but I'm hitting the hole I'm trying to hit. We worked on middle a little bit. Now, let's work on a push swing. So when you're pushing the ball, you want the ball to be deep in its flight. Pushing a ball, your push swing and your pull swing, you're making contact at very different places. The only people that are going to make contact at the same places are those baseball guys that are still swinging. They're going down and getting them because they can basically hit a ball right here every time and guide it this way or guide it this way, guide it that way. People with softball swings, you have a more level swing. You're not going to be able to do what baseball guys can do. So for push swing, we need to come back in our strike zone a little bit. And your swing isn't changing a whole lot. You're just waiting for the ball to get a little bit deeper in your strike zone. So think of it like you're So here's the pitch out here. You would attack it here. Now, instead of attacking it here, you're taking that swing, but now you're just catching the ball as it's deeper in the strike zone. So you're waiting on the pitch instead of attacking that pitch to push or to pull. Sorry. A lot of times when you see a really good push swing down this line, there's a good chance that they're swinging at this. This is a ball, because this is 100% going to drop over here deep. With where it's at in the strike, or where it's at in its flight, it's going to drop far. But if you're trying to put it over there, this is at your chest. It's a little deep. It's a really easy pitch to put over there. That said, this same pitch inside at that height still going to probably be a ball. If it's crossing right here at the plate, there's a good chance it's going to be a ball. But you got it in your head you want to push. There's a runner on first. I have to push this ball. Well, he just threw you an inside pitch. This is the one you're deciding to swing at. You're not going to be able to hit this pitch accurately even 60% of the time. You just won't. There's no way. You're bringing everything in to try to get barrel on it, obviously, and you're losing any control. All you're doing is bringing your hands through and trying to make contact, and whatever happens at this point happens. So don't swing at this pitch. At least don't try to push it. Now we're going to work on some pull swings. Pull swing seems to be the mystery for a lot of players I meet. A lot of younger players, a lot of girls. I hear a lot that they just can't pull the ball. For women, I think it has a lot to do with a lot of softball players, slow pitch players, still have fast pitch swings. So they love waiting for the ball to get deep on them. And they love doing that. I'm not a very good hitting coach. Let's just get that out of the way right now. But you girls you drop down, you drop the bat head down, and you go get that ball. Now, when you're letting the ball get deep on you, it's going to be a lot harder to pull. To pull the ball, you have to go attack it. So for me, I actually hit it out even a little bit further than I normally do. So now I'm at let's call it 3.5-ish feet. And you attack the ball. Get it in the air. The goal for me when I'm pulling this ball down the line is I want it 8 to 10 feet in the air. Because if I get it that 8 to 10 feet in the air, third base is not touching it. There's a good chance it doesn't carry all the way to the left fielder unless I really get a hold of it. Good chance, though, it doesn't carry all the way to the left fielder. And if I'm hitting it down the line where I want to hit it, it's going into the corner and I'm getting a double or triple. Every time. Maybe not a triple. For sure a double. Also, let's touch on this bat. It feels really good. Obviously, I'm only taking T swings. I don't see any concerning marks. I got a mixture of a bunch of balls. There's Pro-Ms. There's these fake U-trip tattoo ball things. Pulling the ball in general. You have to attack it. If you're not going to attack it, you're not going to pull the ball. So for me, the short inside one, it's kind of my favorite one to swing at because I can really get all of this behind it. And that was in between the bases I had set up, basically mimicking the hole. There's a very good chance the third baseman isn't touching that. That's the simple stuff I do for tee work. It's a lot about where you place your tee. You can't hit every field off a one tee placement. You have to move the tee around to mimic where you would see the ball coming through the strike zone. Think to yourself, okay, if this is where I'm normally making contact, where do I need to be hitting the ball to be more consistent at this swing or more consistent at this swing? Teework for me is about muscle memory, and it's about training myself over and over and over again where I need a pitch to hit a specific field. I'm not one of the guys that I can put a ball anywhere accurately 80 to 90% of the time. It's not in my arsenal. Now, I can push an inside pitch, I can pull an outside pitch, but it is a lower percentage swing. You want to work on your high percentage swings and get those down to the point where you are an actual 700 hitter or a 650 hitter. Plate discipline is huge, and knowing what you can and can't do with each pitch is massive. That was what I work on during Teework. This was the senior bat Diablo. It's hot. I'm only 34, so I got a while before I get to swing these, but they're fun. Like, subscribe. Tell me if you guys do something different during your Teework. If you disagree with something I said, let's have a discussion about it. I'm all about learning. I got into this sport as a complete novice and learned everything everything I do now. I've learned from watching people as I grown up. Hell, I watch Cole Campbell on Hitting with the Nation still and learn stuff from them, and I play the same level as them. Or not actually. He's AA now. They won. Whatever. We both play conference. And I still take advice from all the guys he brings on. Like the video he had with KP. Great video. If you want tips on how the best hitter in the country approaches his BP and his games, go watch that video. It's a long video, so grab your popcorn, but it is worth it if you want to grow in this sport. Thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Swing Anarchy.